Hi everyone, this video is about, is change really possible? Like, please somebody tell me that change is really possible. I remember feeling that and praying that change, please let change be possible. And I guess the short answer is yes. Yes, change is really possible. And I'd like to start us out in this video just by having a bit of an exchange with you, Karen, to give our own personal examples of change so that you have real life evidence. Even if you don't know anybody else, right now you know that you're seeing the two of us and we have our examples of having changed.
Yeah. Do you want to start?
Sure. So I used to be such an angry person. It took the form of yelling and arguing and criticizing and stomping, slamming doors and stuff like that. Well, guess what? Not only do I not do that anymore, now it's not that I don't get angry. It's that the way I get angry, the way I get upset looks completely different. It looks like actual words. It looks like actual emotions coming out, but in a way that the intensity doesn't flood me. It is something I can relate to. I can laugh at myself for being as angry as I am. I am no longer being bossed around by these flooded emotions. And that's the main way I would describe how changes happen. I think the most deep way that I could describe it is that I actually am able to trust myself. I know that I know what to do when things bother me or upset me or something terrible happens. And that is an incredibly peaceful place that I want for you. So, you know, you're going to have a journey of your own to find this place, but I wanted to share my story so you could see for yourself. And Karen, you have a story too.
Sure. I will say that it's been a journey and there have been many changes over time. And one of the things that I see and how I view relationships even is that there are special people, people we really love, who are able to touch in on our deepest pain in a special way. Like, not everybody can even access specific, we could call them triggers or parts of ourselves where we have frozen emotions. And so in my close relationships, there are certain moments where something in me gets triggered or activated. And then I know I have some work to do because that person is giving me an opportunity to liberate and get to the deeper layer and transmute that pain. So an example of this is I was in a relationship. I think I might have already told this story where I realized that I was being mean-spirited and kind of malicious. Like, there was an undertone of wanting to cause harm to this other person, wanting to belittle, wanting to demean, wanting to make myself higher and them lower. And I really wondered, like, where did that come from? Because it just seemed so odd. So I started to go to therapy and work with several practitioners, and it took a little while, but I can very distinctly remember the moment where I went underneath the anger and the meanness and felt this so painful rejection, this pain of being rejected and not loved, and it was absolutely excruciating. So that's what I mean by frozen emotions, because the little Karen who first initially experienced that deep rejection pain could not handle it. So I wasn't able to handle that at an earlier time in my life. And now it was coming up at a time when I actually could handle it. I had someone there with me to help me be present and to feel the pain. And I had the capacity to hold myself and to allow that pain to come up. And on the other side of that pain and just feeling it and letting it pass through me, and staying present throughout the process, I didn't have the meanness anymore. Like, it just went away, because the meanness was actually like a symptom of an unfelt deeper pain. So when I addressed the pain and allowed that to move through, the symptom of the meanness just went away. So I think that was one of the most striking experiences of change, because I used to think that this meanness was just a part of me, and that it was inevitable, and that it was just something that happened. Like, I didn't have control over it, so I felt like, oh, well, this just happens. But it doesn't just happen. There's a reason why it happens. And I addressed the reason, and it went away. So that felt like a miracle.
Such a great description, isn't it? Yeah, of that. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, so, well, at least you have two really vivid examples of real people who have made change. And I hope you can sense, at least, the energy that it's so worth it. The work is truly so worth it. Additionally, on the topic of is change possible, I want to also refer you to a website called Cure Violence. So that's cureviolence.org, and I'll make sure the link is below. Briefly, this is an organization that is dedicated to reducing gang violence in the United States. And it takes a research-based approach using neuroscience, nervous system work, somatic theory, sociology, and it has actually proven to reduce gun violence in various cities that have participated. The reason I bring this up is so that you know there is work being done that empirically shows how violent behavior of all kinds gets reduced. So even though it's not popularly known, I certainly wish it was more widely known. Cure Violence is seeking funding and trying to roll out all over the world. On a small scale, the violence that we experience when we have, let's say, in the domestic violence world or in our own families with emotional abuse, if they can reduce gang violence, this too can be changed using those tools. So just a couple of other notes. This is a dimmer switch situation. Change doesn't occur in a thunderclap, right? There's no on-off. And like Karen, you said, it's a journey, and you're gonna find there are ups and downs. Sometimes you'll make a great leap. Sometimes it will feel slow. But bear in mind that it is a dimmer switch, and you are on a journey of change versus like a flash.
Yeah, like a one and done.
Right. That's the perfect.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
It would be nice, but it's really not realistic at all.
Yeah.
To expect you're just going to resolve this really quickly.
Yes. So all the tools that are coming up, the exercises, the many different modalities that we're going to share with you in the following videos are the things that we know you're here for in order to start making that change possible. All of the exercises are here for one thing: to increase your capacity to relate to this life force energy in you, whether it's to prevent angry outbursts and abusive outbursts, or when you're in the middle of something and it's a meltdown situation. We have work and guidance for both those scenarios coming right up. It really looks like Martha Stewart's house.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
With
totally.
the mullioned windows and everything.
It's very pretty.
So pretty.
Okay, we have to remember to look at the thing.
Okay, yeah.
Not the other thing.
Okay, sorry.